Tyli didn't dare to take this rejuvenation pill, and hurriedly said, "Mr. Wade, I haven't paid the money yet, and I am ashamed of it. I will call the company's financial department and transfer the money to your account immediately." Charlie nodded and smiled, took out his premium card, handed it to Tyli, and said, "This is my card. Just put the money into this card." Delon was stunned by this card. "Isn't this the top premium card of Citibank? It seems that there are no more than 5 people in the country with this card. Moreover, Citibank has very strong privacy protection for top premium card customers. What is the origin of Charlie? How could he have this card?" At this moment, Charlie looked at Delon suddenly and said with a smile, "Mr. Kevin, your necklace is worth $20 million United States dollars, and my rejuvenation pill is worth $2 billion. Who is high and who is low? I don't think I need to say it." Delon's expression was extremely ugly. What the FCK are these bird people? $2 billion to buy a powerful pill, is it a brain disease? But cursing is not very useful. After all, I have just let out the words, and now I don't know how to end it. Do you really let yourself swallow this shit ruby necklace? It is easy to swallow. What if it gets stuck in the intestines and cannot be pulled out? But if you don't swallow it, how will you end up today? After all, those ruthless words were all made by myself, so I can't break my word in public. But thinking about it carefully, it's okay to cheat in public. Anyway, I don't know anyone in Orus Hill, so I'm not afraid of gossiping behind these people. But thinking about it again, I still plan to develop relations with Warnya. If I lose such a big face in public today, and I break my promise, it will not be so easy to impress Warnya in the future." Just when he was hesitating, Isaac shook the phone in his hand and said, "Mr. Kevin, I have videotaped the whole process of what happened just now. If you confide it in the third master of the Kevin family, then I will send this video to Eastcliff's Circle, hoping that Mr. Kevin could weigh it himself." Delon looked at Isaac dumbfounded, and said angrily, "Mr. Isaac, I have no grievances with you. Why are you doing this to me?" Isaac said indifferently, "Mr. Kevin, you are a bit unreasonable to say that. I have always been fair in doing things. I will always help or not help my relatives. Today's matter is your own provocation first and you reached a consensus. Why do you want to break your promise now? Is it just because you are the third young master of the Kevin family? Can you speak for nothing? I remember the grandfather Kevin and the ancestor. They have been in the world for decades. He is famous for his words, and his words are faithful. If you really get your moral character, you will start to decline?" When Delon heard this, his face suddenly became extremely ugly. Unexpectedly, Isaac knew his father and grandfather so well. After the surname Kevin was a saint, even the whole world was unified throughout his life. The more common characters of the Kevin family in modern times are generally good. Delon is the German character generation. The Kevin family of Eastcliff's line can go step by step to today, and is inseparable from the unremitting efforts of the previous generations of Delon's ancestors. Moreover, their ancestors, even in the generation of his father and grandfather, paid special attention to credibility, and spoke the same thing outside. Delon knew very well in his heart that if Isaac spread this video to Eastcliff's Circle, the Kevin family would surely sweep the ground and become the laughingstock of everyone. Once the Kevin family knows what he said today that he did not believe, then he will be over. Grandpa will punish him according to the family law and even imprison him for 2 to 3 years. Thinking of this, he felt resentful in his heart. At the same time, he regretted it. As the saying goes, if you know today, why bother? Deep down in Delon's heart, at this moment, he has already regretted it. I shouldn't have more expensive gifts than Charlie. In this comparison, he actually had to perform a swallowing ruby stunt now. But with Isaac here, he really didn't dare to cheat, so he gritted his teeth and said, "I, Delon, have always been willing to bet." He looked at Warnya and said with an extremely depressed expression, "Miss Warnya, please lend me the ruby necklace I gave you." When Warnya heard this, her face was extremely ugly. "What do you mean by lending it to you? Will you pay me back when you run out?" She felt sick for a while, and hurriedly handed him the gift box, and said very seriously, "Mr. Kevin, please take the gift back." Delon also realized at this time that he had said something wrong, but he wanted to swallow the necklace in public. There was no doubt that he could only pull it out after swallowing it. He couldn't pull it out by himself and then wash it and return it to Warnya, right? Thinking of this, his expression was extremely ugly, but he could only bite the bullet and said, "I'm sorry, Miss Warnya, I will look for a more expensive gift for you another day. Please forgive me." Warnya hurriedly waved her hand and said, "No need, Mr. Kevin, I will accept your wishes, but there is no need to give gifts." DeLon knew that he had been disgusted, and his expression was very depressed. At this moment, Charlie smiled calmly and urged, "Mr. Kevin, everyone is waiting for you to finish eating, so don't chirp here." DeLon's face was dark, he gritted his teeth, looked at the huge ruby necklace, and felt nervous. It is probably difficult to swallow this stuff raw. If he can get some oil, it will be better. So he opened his mouth and said to Grandpa Song, "Grandpa Song, please ask the chef to get me some olive oil." Grandpa Song nodded lightly, and instructed the butler Boyu, "Go to the back kitchen and bring Mr. Kevin a bottle of olive oil." Boyu quickly walked over with an unopened bottle of olive oil, and respectfully handed it to the third young master of the Kevin family.